Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Let me just share the screen and then we'll start. Any questions from yesterday's session? Good morning, Niveda, and good morning, Arjunji.
Good morning, ma'am.
So we were talking about yoga and how we can actually contribute or take contribution from yoga in life coaching, right? So now this slide talks about how do you understand yoga? What exactly do you know about yoga or what you call yoga?
Yoga
So
is
this-
unity of mind, body, and soul.
Yes,
It related with the pranayama, breathing techniques, and asanas. It's a mix of all.
absolutely correct. But how do our what do we call Upanishads or Vedas? How do they talk about different sutras talk about yoga? So the word yoga is defined in the second sutra. It is written in. It is called as Sita, Vritti, and Nirodh. That means yoga is tendency to control, Nirodh, and attention. Right? What we call it, Sita, Vritti, and Nirodh. Sita, Riddhi, Nirodh is yoga is tendency. Tendency means vritti to control nirodha. Matlab from it fights from all the kind of ailments and diseases. And attention means sita. It is the second definition talks about it. Basically, it doesn't really. It's a second definition. It talks about that. Very importantly, it gives a direction towards a pivotal role of the mind in this process. The Sanskrit word yog means union, which is the practice between body, mind, and heart. Heart is the soul of the body. So, like you said, that it is basically this. But ultimately, when yoga was talked about in different Vedas, it is basically talked about that it controls the kind of tendency we have in our body to get attention towards different diseases, different kind of things. So, actually, yoga helps us in controlling our distractions also. That's very important to know. This is the collaboration between body, heart, and mind. And this is what life coaching does. So, how are we collaborating both now? That what is the impact of yoga on life? That is body, heart, and mind, and how we are collaborating now it is with life coaching. So, life coaching, as we have already spoken about, is a process designed in a way to support clients in bringing up the uniqueness through powerful tools. What are the powerful tools that we can utilize using yoga or any other technique that you want to use while in talking to them, while helping them out in solving their problems? These are the three important things that is basically done. Number one is active listening. Very importantly, it's kind of a diagnosis that we do as a life coach, understanding our people, whosoever has come to you for a problem, knowingly very well that without listening you won't be able to give them any kind of solutions. So active listening comes to play. Now most of the time what we do is the human brain is so busy in so many activities that we don't get involved into active listening. What we do is passive listening or selective listening. So passive listening is basically not understanding the meaning of the words that is being said. And selective listening is not listening full heart. Your mind is somewhere else. You are physically sitting here and you are just listening to somebody talking anything, right? So that's very important that active listening is happening all the time. Let everybody join, then we will play a small game of active listening through which, it's a management game which we generally use in our classrooms teaching. But it can only be played when you have a group of 6 people, right, to understand it better. So if some or more people will join in some time, I will take you through that exercise also. Then ask questions. Very importantly, asking relevant questions about somebody's life, about what is the problem consisting of. We also talked about it during goal setting. That, for example, somebody has come to you and said that I am going through some emotional trauma. And because of this emotional trauma, I have put on weight. And I need your help as a life coach to solve my problem. So, what is the kind of questions that you are going to ask that person? Let's understand from all of you first. Yes, Arjunji, you want to say something?
Repeat the question once, ma'am. You said so many. Can you please repeat the question?
Yeah. So the question is, suppose somebody has come to you, a client has come to you, seeking help for emotional trauma, and he or she knows that because of emotional trauma, they are gaining a lot of weight also. Now they want your help as a life coach. So what are the questions that you are going to ask? You are doing the diagnosis right now. So what kind of questions? Yeah.
Diagnosis means what to say. First, we will be asking about their family condition. How many of whether the person is what to say, married or unmarried. Their family, what to say, their family details. First, I will be gathering. After that, their working nature. What kind of company working or own business they are having, that thing we will be diagnosing. After that, what to say, any previous what to say health issues or history, that thing will be diagnosed based on some people mostly have due to health issue, they will be having some emotional issues, right, ma'am?
Correct.
So because if they suddenly, because 35 years they will be having, suddenly if they are being diagnosed as diabetes means suddenly they will become more emotional. We have got sugar, we have got diabetes, so everything is gone. From that time onwards, they will be depressed and they will be in a stress manner. So history of their health condition we have to diagnose. After that, what to say, day-to-day lifestyle, what they are doing. Based on that, we can come to a conclusion that these are the reasons for his emotional disorder, and from that we can start our counseling or can start our guidance in giving yoga, ma'am.
Absolutely true. Great. Yeah, Akriti, what kind of
Yes, ma'am.
questions you will ask?
Ma'am, after asking these questions, we can ask about trauma related question. Is this trauma because of a specific reason, or there are some problems that are interconnected? And after standing this, we can see how this goes and we can work upon it.
Okay. Niveda, Rati?
Ma'am, we need to ask about the years, how many years the trauma has been with them, and what is that triggering them? What type of words or situations or persons that is triggering this type of things in them? The connection, basically the connection between the trauma and the person, that we need to get
establish.
To know.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true. But what is the question that you're going to ask?
Which part of word is giving you this feel? or which person is when you meet some person, who is that person? Or if the situation, what is the situation? So like that.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay. Okay. See, it's about understanding the requirements and needs for you as a coach, right? You need to chart out your plan. What is the goal that you have, right? When somebody has come to you for emotional trauma, from goal setting, you have already set your goals and what are the things that you need to know. From there, now you're going to ask relevant questions related to your goals, your objectives that you want to meet. So if it is emotional trauma, you're going to find out what are the physical problems that the person is facing because of that, right? So yesterday, the presentation that we completed, the 5 goals, we need to ask questions around that first, right? Because that's the goal of yoga, that through yoga, we reach physical goals, spiritual goals, mental goals, and then the self-realization. So not self-realization, but other things we need to ask. Hence, we will be asking the physical trauma or physical problems that they are encountering. Then we are going to ask them about the emotional connect with other peoples in their life. What is it? How is the relationship with parents? How is the relationship with kids if the person is married? How is the relationship with spouse? Again, if the person is married, or if not married, then are they in any relationships which is causing that kind of a pain? Do they have any boyfriend or girlfriend, or any such relationship which is causing unnecessarily stress in their life? So all these questions have to be written down in certain manner, so that you're not sounding too personal and intimidating knowing about their details. But as a doctor or as a life coach, as a mentor, it is very important for you to know about their entire life, right? And always ensure, when you are getting into any kind of a contract, so there is no written contract as such with your clients, but the contract of agreement basically talks about the confidentiality. When you are speaking to your client, they should know that everything that you are getting to know is going to remain between you and the client only. You're not going to disclose. So do not take too much of notes or seek permission. Take their permission. Can I write down about your problem so that I can find out better solutions? Right. So all these things has to be done very, very importantly when you are dealing with clients on a one-to-one basis. Then third point is just creating trust and intimacy for exploration and growth. This part talks about how somebody has come to you. That means they show some kind of trust. So you have to reciprocate the same thing in your conversation with that person. Show a lot of trust, show a lot of faith. If they are saying something to you, don't negate it. Right? Don't say that no, you're not correct, you are incorrect. All those kind of words should not be spoken. Initially, 3 or 4 settings, yeah, 3 or 4 sittings, when you are having with your clients, it is very important to build that intimacy. Right? That emotional connect has to be there, but with following emotional detachment. Don't get attached to any of your clients. That's very important. If you want to give relevant solutions, especially for emotional care coaching people, it's sometimes what happens is we get so much involved into the entire process that our solutions comes from a very personal kind of we start feeling that everything is happening with us, and that's when the entire coaching session goes haywire. So it's very important, stay relevant, understand the question, always give solutions as a third person. Do not get involved into the whole process, because it will bring a lot of stress and anxiety to you if you get involved, attached with any of your clients during that period, right? So very importantly to follow detachment rules also. Correct. Now let's talk about what are the coaching competencies required in a good life coach. So what are the things now you have to see whether you have these competencies, or what are the competencies you need to build in you so that you can become a better life coach in your life. So number one is engaging through presence, trust, and honesty. It's very important that you are sounding very engaging. And when you are engaging, which means that your presence should be visible there with a lot of trust and honesty. If you're not able to display that trust, you're not able to seek the honest answers from your clients, that means there is something not really fitting into the entire scenario. Right? Second is listening with intention and applying direct questioning skills. Right? Do not ask indirect questions. Be very straightforward. And the more straightforward you remain, the more professional your entire segment would sound. Right? The more you go, bush around the, beat around the bushes, or you are asking indirect questions, the chances are that you will not be getting the relevant answers from your clients. So it's always important that you first pay attention to what they are saying, then ask questions, relevant questions related to whatever they have shared with you. Also, as I said, it's very important जब हमारे पास we have the objective clear that what do we want to achieve from our coaching sessions. It's very important then you ask questions already. I mean, you write down your questions in advance. Third आता है what competencies you require as a life coach is assessment. Very importantly, you need to learn how to analyze and assess people in terms of whether they are sharing with you is correct or incorrect. We will not say on their faces that they are sharing something incorrect, but it is you who have to analyze, because what happens, especially during the time period when people come with mental issues, mental problems, right? So they do not, sometimes they start living in hallucination. A lot of things they start building on their own. They have a lot of fear and insecurity in their heart. And because of that fear and insecurity, they start just assuming that something is going to happen to them, that something is happening. Though in real life, those things may not be occurring on a day-to-day basis. It's just our fear and insecurity which takes us through that. So it's very important that you assess the situation in a very nice manner.
Ma'am, that hallucination, if they are speaking about the hallucination, like somebody is threatening me, some voice is hearing, something like that, all people will be telling them, ma'am, that is hallucination.
Correct.
And in that case, how do we deal with that, ma'am?
See, it's very important that for certain conditions, immediate medicines should be given. So you cannot give that. So always tell them to reach to a doctor. At least these hallucinations will stop from the medicine. And then as a life coach, you start building your own segments. What happens in hallucination and, especially in the cases of schizophrenia and, these kind of problems, people start developing a lot of fear around them. And that fear can actually can draw you also into that scenario. So it's always better that they start taking medicines, because medicines help them come out of this thing immediately. They have immediate effect. Though for long term, if they keep taking these medicines, it has very, very bad impact on their life. People do not understand that all the, though we should not be saying it on YouTube, but all the medicines that is being prescribed for any emotional or mental trauma, they have very, very bad effect for a long term period. So it's always good. And that's what people don't realize. They feel that for physical health, we go to doctor, take medicines, we get fine. For mental health, it is always good that you went out, you take out everything that is in you. That is the kind of therapy that is required, not the medicines. But medicines are good when you have to control, some attacks that people are facing, some mental attacks. Somehow they have some problems which requires immediate attention. Then medicines help for a short period of time. So always tell them, suggest them that go to doctor, meet. There is no harm in meeting doctors for hallucinations and serious things. But for long-term period, you are there for them. Yeah. So next is timekeeping. Very importantly, that you need to be managing their time in a manner that you are giving them just 40-45 minutes of session every time. Whatever time period that you are devoting to them, do not get involved more than 45 minutes or an hour. An hour is also too long. 45-50 minutes is good enough for the first thing, because it is for your own mental health. The more you will get involved into the entire process, the more you will be drawn into the entire things. So it's always good to stay detached, keep that timekeeping, understand that it's a professional dealing that you are going to happen. And the moment you are over with 45 minutes, do not sound too rude, but always tell them that the time is closing. I need to go. I have another session, whatever way you want to close it, but just close it. It is said the more we get involved into the process, the more stress it will bring to us. You will get more attached to the entire scenario. So 40-45 minutes is good enough to understand and listen. And then after that, start disconnecting. Closing remarks. Very important that you give closing remarks for your every session to your clients. Tell them what you have heard. Tell them what you are going to do about it. What are the solutions that you are going to give them? So that closing remarks has to come maybe in 3-4 statements, and then you're closing the sessions. And then do a lot of homework. Anyone is coming to you, they have taken time and appointment, seek their permission to know a little bit more about them, right? Ask questions. What is the problem since when it started? At least, what they are coming to you, so that you are well prepared to understand their things in advance, right? So that homework. From first session to the next session, again, a lot of homework is required because first session may have given you a lot of information. So that information, how you are going to utilize, you are going to do your research, the similar manner, the way I have asked you to do now for assignment, yesterday's assignment. The next competency that is required is facilitation skills, right? Very importantly, that you should have, you should be talking in a manner that people would have trust in you, that you are going to solve their problem. So that facilitation means whatever you know. See, knowledge is a different thing. Knowing is very important for all of us. Content building is very important. That research will help you in building your content. Knowledge of yoga, meditation, relaxation techniques is again very important. But a lot of people know all these things. How are you going to facilitate? Means how are you going to transfer that knowledge to the other person is again. So it talks about your communication skills. No matter what language you are using, whether it is English, Hindi, your own mother tongue, where you are, because a lot of people feel comfort in talking in mother language, mother tongue also. So suppose if I am in Punjab, I try and talk to people in Punjabi. If I am somewhere in maybe Bangalore or Delhi, then there are English speaking people, spoken people more. International clients always talk in English. So it's very important that you facilitate the things in the manner that you understand that the emotional connect will build up more. Now, from stuck to action is the kind of facilitation skills that is required. Why I have written from stuck to action is because somebody has come to you from a problem statement that this is the problem that I have, right? And they are looking for immediate solution. That is why they have come to you. They are not going to wait for 5 sessions for the answers. So what are you going to tell them in the first session? That is not so. Suppose you have not understood their problem in the first session completely, and you feel that you need to do a lot of research, but somehow the person who has come to you is still looking for answers. So what are you going to tell them? So there are immediate remedies that you can always tell them, maybe a breathing technique or pranayama, right? You can tell them that take this breathing technique, it will help you relieve your stress out every morning. Practice this. Maybe 1 or 2 general asanas that you can give, which may not have any adverse. As though yoga has no adverse effects, so you can tell them at least 3 or 4 asanas which they can practice, and their stress, yeah, whatever problem that they are having, that is not there anymore. So first session is always about asking them to come out of that problem thinking and think about solution based thinking now. So that is what, how are you going to facilitate? We will do some live coaching sessions also. Once we understand a little bit more about coaching styles, then we will do live sessions where we will practice how you are going to talk to your clients. The next point is managing progress. Guys, yeah, I am very disappointed when you don't open your cameras. It is morning. Even I am taking this class in morning, and I know you are also at home. So at least show your presence by opening your cameras. Should not be repeating it every session. This much respect we can have for each other, correct? Okay. So next is managing progress, asking for feedback. Very importantly, that you need to seek and know about their feedbacks about each session. Every session should have at least 5 minutes where you are seeking feedback, at least to know whether your client is attached to the sessions or not, or they are seeking help from somewhere else as well. Because when somebody comes to you and they don't trust you fully or they don't trust the entire process, there are chances that they might lose out on the interest in you. So it's very important that you manage progress and seek feedbacks for them. And then monitor result. Every week, show them some results that this is what you are doing and this is what the result is, the outcome is, the impact is. So know about all that. So the feedback will help you look into this entire direction, that how are you monitoring their results also. Then building self-awareness, right? This I always keep telling you, that practice self-awareness first. Once you have that self-awareness about your own things, then only you will be able to help them out. Because as a coach, a lot of time what happens is our intuitions help us find out more about the entire scenario. We are not doctors, right? We have not studied medicine. We do not know what and how the body really works. But what we know is from our intuition and from the practices, from the things that you have done yourself, you get to know that what exactly can be a problem. Somehow, in our gut, you start feeling that there is something more to this person than what he or she is telling you. So that intuition has to play the entire role here, but with a lot of self-awareness. Right? So that self-awareness has to come to you with practice. Once you practice it, you will know whatever the person is saying, how much is correct, how much is incorrect, or there is more to the problem than the person is saying. Then using body phase based feelings to uncover insights for clarity. Right? So body based feelings, in the sense, whatever the body is facing, the challenges. Ask them questions on the physical inactiveness. If it is emotional trauma, then also. If it is some stress problem, then also. If it is a physical problem, then also. Understand what are they feeling in their body. Correct? That's very important to know. Otherwise, what will happen is you will never get to know what exactly is the trouble and where exactly is the problem happening. Right? For example, suppose somebody has come to you saying that they have diabetes. And diabetes, they are not talking directly about diabetes, but they say that, this is what is a problem I feel is creating more problems in my body. So now diabetes has an impact on which part of body more? Which are the body parts where diabetes directly impact?
Pancreas, ma'am. Stomach.
Pancreas.
Stomach.
Let's go one by one. Yeah, let's talk Niveda talk and then we'll come to you, Rati.
Yes, ma'am. Pancreas, ma'am. Stomach part.
Yeah, pancreas get affected, but do they feel any pain and anything in pancreas? No, right?
No.
Yeah. So what are the problem areas in body? We know that it is starting from pancreas, but what are the body physical places?
Weight loss will be there.
Yeah. Either too much of weight gain or weight loss. Correct.
Weight
One
loss
is
will be
that.
there.
Yeah.
And what to say? If any wound or anything happen, it won't easily get cured.
Very true. So any wound will not get immediately filled. Yeah.
And they will also have sexual disorders, ma'am.
Sorry?
And the person will be also have sexual disorders.
Yes, so sexual life will also be not very satisfactory. Correct. Yes, Rati. Yeah.
Insulin problem.
So your voice is not coming clearly, Rati.
Insulin problem, ma'am. Insulin.
Which
Insulin
problem? Insulin problem will be there in the body. But what is the impact of insulin not being present in the body?
What? Ma'am?
What is the impact of insulin not being present in the body? How does lack of insulin creates a problem in our body?
Yeah, lack of or more.
Yeah, lack or more, whatever, right? So there would be a lot of muscle related pain, pain in knees, pain in foot. So these are the common problems in diabetes, right?
And they can't lift their shoulders, ma'am. Shoulder.
Correct. So any muscle where there are joints, all these joints start creating problem, and that is the reason why diabetic patients, are always confused why so many things are happening in their physical. self also. So it's very important. See, that is a research that you've done already. You know about diabetes, all
They'll
these
be
problems.
thirsty also, ma'am. They'll feel thirsty.
Yeah, they feel thirsty. Correct.
And even food also, ma'am. They'll be
Yeah.
having a hungriness.
Absolutely. Lot of hungerness. Either they feel too bloated or they feel a lot of hungry, depending upon which side of which condition is there. Because in diabetes also you have different conditions. So it's very important. So see, this is what helps when you do research. It helps you knowing about the disease details, right? And you do not need to be a doctor to understand all these problems, right? So it's very important. The more you know about a disease or a problem, the better you are going to solve their problem, right? You will know what exactly which asana is going to help them so that their joint starts moving in a proper direction. You will know that what kind of breathing technique should I tell them so that the amount of oxygen is actually going into the entire part of the body wherever it is required, right? Do you think that from life coaching and from yoga and you can actually make pancreas function properly? Is it possible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
That
How long it will take?
Regular practice of yoga for at least 90 days can give a progress in them. For because the breathing, we are following the breathing as well as the asanas, ma'am. And the Surya Namaskaram and all, that improves, that Bhujangasana and all improves the digestion very well. So, and the chakras, the orange, yellow chakra, that will be that will also work in a proper way. Like there are asanas for that. So so that there will be definitely an improvement in them, ma'am.
Yeah, both yellow and orange.
Yes, ma'am.
Both the things are required for pancreas to function properly. Right? So your chakra healing or chakra meditation is going to play a lot of role in this. And again, if somebody does not believe in chakras and all those things, so you can call them energy centers and then introduce it. Right? So always use terminologies as per your client. So that's the tool and equipment that you will use immediately. Great. So moving to the next point, now it says that empowerment to move through emotional reactivity to accountability and self-responsibility. So what does it mean? Let's ask Akriti. Akriti is from that background, right? She has done about emotional care. What do you understand by this point, Akriti?
Ma'am, this one building self-awareness.
No, empowerment to move, the second last.
Ma'am, give me a minute. Ma'am, to help the person to become self-dependent so that he or she can not always rely on other person for help, capable of being or solving own problems.
Okay. Not really correct 100%, but a little bit, yes. So what we can do or what we can say, I mean, the point actually talks about how the people are actually reacting to emotional self. When people are emotionally troubled or even because of physical inactivity or physical diseases or problems, generally what happens is we have a very high emotional reaction. People will come to you with hypertension or things like, I am not feeling well, I will die, I have this problem, all that problem. So that emotional reactivity is going to be very high. How you as a mentor or life coach is going to answer them for their accountability. See, emotional reactions are not going to create solutions. So the answer is that how much accountable are you for these incorrections in your body. or whatever is happening. So for example, people say diabetes ho gayi, we don't know, we don't eat sugar, we don't eat too much of namak, still it is happening, right? Because they do not realize that diabetes has nothing to do with just sugar. It has nothing to do with having more salt. Basically, it is inactivity of the body that you get involved into. The more we sit, the more we have these office jobs where we are sitting for 8-10 hours, there are chances that you will get diabetes more, right? Because pancreas activity has stopped happening. Because pancreas has a function in the body, that is why it is present. So understand what is the function of pancreas, how it happens, and how much physical activity is required. Then make them feel accountable for that. That what kind of physical exercise do you do? How much walk do you do every day? Right? What kind of things that you can do? And then take it slowly towards self responsibility. That you, as a coach, can just guide them. You can write down the points that you need to do this, this, this. But ultimately, who has to perform those activities? How will you ensure that the person has to come to you perform those activities? So that is the kind of things that you have to do. That from emotional reaction, you have to start empowering them so much. You have to say certain things. You have to write down the chart in such a manner, create their weekly chart, tell them this is how you have to do exercise. 20 minutes walk every day is important for diabetes. Without that, it would be taking too much of time. And then some yoga asanas and other things that is required, right? And do it in a manner where you know that these are the activities which is going to show impact in first week itself. Correct? So that people start believing in you. And then they start slowly taking that self responsibility of doing it over and over again. Because most of the sessions starts failing when people do not do the things that you tell them to. For example, now you've been to a doctor for any such problems, and doctor tells you that you do not have to eat maida, yeah, at any point in time, but you keep eating those things which doctor has told you not to do. Will it have an impact, positive impact on your body? Right? It will not. So similar things is for emotional care coaching, for life coaching also. That whatever things you are telling them, how are you going to ensure that the person is taking self responsibility for that? That's very important competency that as a coach you need to acquire. They should be able to get so mesmerized by you. The authenticity of you should transfer from you to them so that they start believing that if I do this, I am going to be corrected. Then last point is compassion and empathy with clear boundaries. Now you have to show a lot of care. You are going to show a lot of compassion and kindness, but do not fall in love with your clients ever. Fall in love with does not mean that for the opposite sex in any manner. In every session, you get so involved that there are chances that you are emotionally attached to your clients. So always create a clear demarcation where compassion is stopping, where empathy is stopping. It is not getting more involved into the entire process. Because the moment you get involved with any of your client for any manner, by any manner, you are breaking the agreement between you and your client. Right? That emotional connect has to stop somewhere. It should be compassionate, it should be empathetic, but it should not have more emotional connection with the client. Right? So that has to be built. It will not come automatically. Initially, you will face this problem that you're connecting, but you need to learn how to detach. You need to practice your yoga and your meditation properly so that your mind is always aware that you are not involved in the process with the person. You are just an outsider looking into the problem and solving that problem for this person. Because it's not really I'm building this thing, but I'm telling you by my own experiences that initially you get so involved into the entire process that it brings different kind of mental disturbance to you. Correct? So this is about your coaching competencies. Now, how you are going to take yoga to coaching process is basically yoga is going to help you understanding what is happening right now, and coaching will take you through goal setting. You are going to take important sessions. You are going to take sessions on the basis of the goals that you have set for yourself and for the client. So that's very important. That we have already done in goal setting. So not going to discuss it today. How are we going to do this is basically through collaboration, change, and communication. Let me just take you through this slide a little bit. You can read it now.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am. Yes.
Correct. So this circle above, this talks about different kind of things that the person has. For example, the passion, relationships, dreams, career, authenticity, love, life purpose, parenting, kindness, peace in mind, alignment, right? Then you have another circle which talks about responsibility, communication, goals, actions, perception, which is coaching. Their potential, their future, their positivity, the change. And then this is what yoga does. Yoga brings focus, it is body in your home, it brings clarity, calm your mind, fulfillment, gratefulness, self-study, all that thing. And what are we seeking all the time is the life, what I am, who I am. So this is how you are going to build these three circles together and then find out where exactly you are meeting your clients. This is the whole purpose of yoga life coaching. You are going to collaborate, you are going to bring change, you are going to do a lot of communication. Correct? This is how the collaboration between what they are facing in their life, how coaching is going to help, and what kind of solutions yoga brings to their life. The solution lies somewhere here, where we are uniting all these three. This is the circle where you have to meet your clients, understanding what is the problem, then giving coaching, and then solutions through yoga. So now this slide talks about how you can, your coaching practice can actually take to a different, if you really want to be a professional life coach, or you want to become an employed life coach properly, what is the kind of industry it is, that's the examination that you have to do. So the first point talks about here is examining the burgeoning coaching industry. What is the need of coaching right now? Where do you see that people are requiring coaching? And that's a question to all of you. Why do you think that there is a lot of requirement right now for coaches?
Present lifestyle, ma'am, and monotonous materialistic need, and the involvement of the technology more towards the human being, that is dominating more towards the human being.
Yeah.
These are the things.
Okay. Anybody else? Why do you think suddenly the industry is booming in last few years?
Because of the pandemic that has happened for this corona.
Yes, one is obviously about the pandemic. After pandemic, again it
Yes.
has grown.
Ma'am.
Correct. Yeah, Kriti, your voice is not coming.
Competition,
Absolutely, competition is there.
family
True.
change, nuclear family, joint family to nuclear family, and working parents, or everyone is working and so much involved in their own life that
Hmm.
they don't have time for themselves also and for others also.
True. Very, very true. Yes.
Ma'am, for leading a healthy life,
Yeah.
Coaching is important, ma'am, nowadays.
Correct.
Because nowadays people want to lead a healthy and peaceful life by facing all as other said competition, everything, lifestyle change. So for that reason, also currently the in the coaching industry is booming, ma'am.
Very true. So see, whether it is the smallest of the problem or the largest, right? Coaching industry is going to boom and it has a lot of potential nowadays is because most people have started understanding that not only doctors who can bring the solutions to them. It is more about natural living. So why we are practicing, why we are talking about, why we started this particular course also for yoga life coaching is for this perspective only, that we need to give an experience to people that how naturally through the course of our body and the mind, however it was, created, without following maybe too much of uh, scientific methods which we have created again as a human, without following those, very naturally how you can actually create change in your body and your mind, right? So that is the whole process, that is the whole way of coaching industry to do that. And why the need, you all know why the need is there. You have given that answers really well, that because of emotional connect, because of competition, too much of stress, too much of work related issues, so many things are happening around us, and hence we require that kind of a satisfaction that comes to you, that contentment that should come to us on a daily basis. So it's like a immediate medicine, but in a very natural format that we are going to give to the clients, that is going to help them, right? Then what is your role in human resources and healthcare? That is very important to know, right? Because in corporates, human resource departments are dealing with all these problems in a direct manner. Because I come from that background where I had human resources for we run human resources related company. So I tell you so many examples which happened during this pandemic. The very healthy employees, very healthy people in the industries, they started coming to us and telling, I feel like committing suicide without any reasons. The life is going very smoothly. It's just that yes, you do not have the job, you do not have the work, but still, very healthy person coming to you suddenly and telling you that, I feel like committing suicide. So what are you going to do about it? Right? So all these things is very important, that as a coach, you need to relate to the human resources department of the organizations if you are going towards that side, building corporate connections, and especially in the healthcare industry. You need to understand these two industries so well before forming your solutions as a coach, because that's where you will also belong to. Either you can be a part of the human resources kind of a thing, or you need to be a part of the healthcare industry, which is like an alternative therapist, right? People do not call them therapists because you are not psychologist or you have not studied psychology, but people call us alternative healers because you bring different kind of healings to people through different methods. Then self-care as a component of leadership. Very importantly, you have to sell this to everyone. Very importantly, you have to inculcate this in your coaching sessions, that leadership is very, very important for everybody to run their life. Every one of us can become a leader. Every one of us should have that competency. Then only we will be able to drive our life in a different manner altogether, right? Because leadership does not mean that you have to drive other people, that you have to just make other people follow you. Leadership also means that how are you taking responsibility of your own life? Is your life, are you responsible enough where you can take such kind of decisions, where you can actually create a kind of pattern in your life which is not following behind anybody else? Right. Then next is provide and receive feedback and measure progress. It's very important. This we have already spoken in the other slide also, but again, it's very important that you measure the progress of each and every client of yours in a different manner. There would be a time when you are dealing with different clients at one point in time, right? That is when your note taking, your creating a diary or a journal will help you. The more notes you take of each person, the more you get involved into the process and give them solutions, better solutions. Then understand the role of ethics. Now, very importantly, this is one of the points where most of the people start creating problems. Right? Ethics is something which is very important. You need to demarcate that line where you're not crossing the ethics. Right? Ethics is where your integrity is on the loose. You are actually overselling something to your clients in the name of life coaching. Right? Many life coaches, what they do is they feel that they have suddenly become a doctor and they start telling different kind of solutions to people, right? Unethically. As an ethical practitioner for anything, right, you need to really, really involve yourself into the entire process following the ethics of the game. Ethics of the games is that, you're not linking yourself with the client at any point in time. You need to remain trustworthy. You need to find out the solutions which are authentic. You're not going to give them solutions which are immediate but which may not have an impact in their life. So all these things have to be done. There are coaching standards. When we pass, we will give you a certification. So every coaching certification comes with a standard that every person, every life coach has to follow. It's very important. And understand that your scope of practice is not through medical practitioner. Your scope of practice is where your specialization is. So if your specialization is yoga life coach, so you're using a lot of yoga and relaxation techniques only. If your specialization is emotional care coaching, so try and get involved into emotional care coaching only. Do not, go beyond your scope. Find out your scope really well and do not get involved into the process where people are coming to you from different side. You don't know, you have not practiced, so you can always say no to them. That is when ethics comes to play, right? So I tell you the example why this happens. So there was one lady who came to us because I am a Reiki practitioner, pranic healing practitioner also. So this lady came to us and she said that, I need solution because the medical sciences has not been able to correct my thing. They have done a surgery, but still my paralysis is not going away. My left side is completely not workable. So I told her that I can just suggest you certain exercises on the basis of the yoga that we conduct and some obviously meditation techniques and all that. So she said, no, I want you to perform Reiki on me also, so that through Reiki I can start get healing. Initially, I didn't feel like giving Reiki to her because of, the same thing, the ethics part. But later on, when we started working on her through meditation and yoga, we realized that through yoga also her body posture is not coming to the normal self, right? Because she was not able to perform meditation or relaxation techniques with whatever is happening in her brain. Then we started using alternative therapy on her with her permission. You cannot really perform all these things without their permission. So when you seek permission and do that, and then slowly in 6 months' time, her left side started working. She started going to the toilets, she started moving around a little bit. And then another 3 months, her hand also started showing movement. So you have the solution, you become a package where you can sell across your coaching skills to other people, but not without having knowledge. You need to demarcate really, really well that where your scope of practice is stopping you, right? So suppose you have taken only specialization in yoga and meditation, right? You really do well. You know that yoga and meditation can solve the problems. It usually can solve the problems, but you do not really have other skills in you which is required. People will come to you. There are so many alternative therapies now. There is EMT, there is Reiki, there is pranic healing, there is a lot of other things which are very common in the market nowadays. So especially in the Western countries, people really talk about these things, but till the time you do not specialize in them, you do not have that kind of skill in you, it's always good to say no to the person, right? It doesn't show that you are a failure or you're not able to help that person out in a real manner, but it's always good that you do not cross that line where you do not know something, you've not practiced it yourself, but you're still dealing with that, right? So that is the coaching standards that we are talking about here. Next point is high powered professional service agreements, especially when you are doing group healings, when you are doing group sessions in corporates, in schools, in colleges. Please ensure that you are signing a service agreement with these companies. right? It's very important. Just do not go because somebody has asked you to come. You need to get that service agreement ready. Sometimes with your clients also, it is very important that you sign service agreements. Why I tell you? Because what happens is at the later stages, people can blame you for so many things. It is a negative side also of life coaching, right? So the negative side of life coaching is that people have come to you, you are a therapist, you are helping them out, but you're not able to somehow because they are not practicing it. You're telling them do yoga asanas, they are not performing. And suddenly after 3 months, they will say, you are not able to correct me. I have wasted my money. Because wherever the money is involved, people will always have these kind of things to say that things did not work out because of you. They will not take that self-responsibility. So that's the negative side of it. The better the service agreement that you will sign with your clients, the better are the chances that you are out of these kind of things. So it's always good that you sign. So what we do is with every client, we have a small form, and then form has some clauses that whatever we are saying to them, if they are not performing that on a daily basis, the coaching sessions will not have an impact. So it is written very clearly in the form itself when they fill that form. So it is very clear to me and to the client who are getting into that contract and they are signing that form. They know that if I am not performing this in the very first instance, then I will not have that kind of an impact. So you're safeguarding yourself, and it is very important to safeguard yourself as a life coach against all these problems. Then next is comprehensive tools for business development and liabilities. Now this is more towards the business part. How are you going to sell yourself as life coach? So what are the things that you are going to do? So your business development is very, very important to do if you really want to create a market for yourself, right? So that business development can happen either through, uh, you know, you're going out in the market, selling about you or telling about this yourself, or maybe through social media and internet marketing techniques. So it's very important that create authenticated videos, authenticated content, and then sell it out. So for us, we don't do any of these two things. But my business development in our case and social media and internet marketing, we do not talk too much about our work because this work basically works much better through word of mouth that I have felt over the years. Right? The more authenticated you are involved into the entire process, there are chances that your clients are going to bring more clients for you. That word of mouth is going to work really, really well for you. Then yes, you can use social media as a very powerful tool without directly marketing yourself. Indirect marketing really works well. How indirect marketing works well? You join different groups on various platforms. So we have different groups like Gurgaon Moms, mompreneurs, where a lot of women are involved. Because generally I prefer dealing with women because women face too many problems in their entire life cycle. So when you join all these groups, what happens is you have daily different kind of problems that they are talking about anonymously. Now Facebook has started a very beautiful thing that you can write about yourself anonymously. People will not get to know in the group that who you are. So this is a very powerful tool. You can give them solutions there free of cost, and they like your solutions, they will contact you directly. Right? The more better you sound to them, the more you relate to them in their problems, there are chances that more people will come to you. So this is a very powerful tool of social media and internet marketing techniques that you can use. Also, you can create small reels related to these problems, and then you can directly sell it out on your Facebook or social media. Right? Very importantly, see, people are in need of these techniques so much. I can't tell you. We have a group where a lot of moms are there from Delhi NCR largely. Now this group is called Delhi NCR Moms. Now there are people who are working, there are women who are not working, there are women who are there. Plus, trust me, every day, approximately 70% of problems that is being talked about in this group is purely about abuse. Abuse from in-laws, abuse from husband, abuse from different segments of life, purely. And 70% is, I think, very less that I'm saying. If there are 20 posts which is coming on that group, out of 20 posts, 15, 13 is talking purely about abuse from the family. And imagine these are the ladies who are educated, these are the families who are really, really doing well, these are the families which are earning really good money in top class, all those things are there. Still, a lot of abuse is happening. So, you have such a big clientele available for you out there who needs help. And there is no, I mean, I don't feel that, there's something you're telling them free of cost is going to create a problem. So start with just free of cost solutions, just send them solutions so that you are helping out the community also. Because the person who has posted the problem can also read that, and the people who are reading that can also read that. So it is actually going to so many people at one go, and you don't know who becomes your client later on. So do not solve the problem just with the mindset of selling out your business, but with this thing that you are helping somebody who is in need of that kind of a thing. See, telling people, most women, men also at some point in time, but most women face this problem that they don't see their self-worth. That's a very basic thing. Over a period of time, through whatever they go through, they stop believing in themselves. So it's always very important that you give them certain pointers, at least to bring them back their confidence, which is very important. Then later on, obviously, there are chances that they become your client for the lifetime. Then understand and claim your self-worth and increase your earning capacity. See, as a coach, it is very important that you increase your self-worth, right? So if you have started your coaching sessions with, say, 300 rupees per session, now you have to slowly increase it to a level where your earning capacity is also increasing as much as you are becoming successful. So initially your practice, so it is like a very similar to psychologist or a therapist who are there. Initially, you do not charge too much because you are practicing. You have not practiced it with various people. That is very much required. But over a period of time, when you start practicing and you are realizing that you're measuring their progress and you are getting successful in the entire process, you know that your self-worth is increasing. So increasing your self-worth and claiming that is also very important, right? Because every kind of coach is there in this world. How much is your contribution in this entire industry is totally in your hand. The more authenticated, the more research, the more high content you have, there are chances that you will be much more successful. So this is who can do it. Now, who can become life coaches are basically all these people. Right? Your HR professionals, yoga practitioners, life coaches, homemakers, students, working professionals, retired individuals. Everybody can actually become a life coach. Right? So you can actually fall into any category and do that. This we were talking about yesterday. So where exactly do we lie? So only 8,000 yoga practitioners are registered right now. And this 8,000 practitioners, it might have increased now, maybe over a 6 months time period, because I created this PPT for the last session, I mean the last group. But approximately this many people are only registered. People do not know what Ayush Bharat's website is, where do they need to register themselves. So that's why they have not done it. So what happens is Government of India gives preference to people who have that certification from Ayush Bharat. Ayush is the institution who has that certification of running yoga into the entire India. It certifies. It's basically just a certification body. They don't say that take certificate from us. They just say that if you have some certification, just register yourself here.
Ma'am, in this one doubt, ma'am, in this we can register whatever the certificate, ma'am. YLC we can register, ROIT 200, 300, that thing, everything we can register, ma'am.
Sorry, I didn't get your question.
In the Ayush website, you said what are the certificate YLC we are studying, so we can register it. And someone are practicing ROIT 200, 300, 500, no, ma'am.
Yeah.
That also we can register in it, or
right now just register as yoga practitioner. Right? Ayush Bharat only gives you certification. I mean, they just register people who are practicing yoga or who have some certification in yoga. So you can register as...
Okay.
Yeah. This YSI certification, once you get after completion of this, that with that certification, with that copy, you just have to post that copy to them, and then you will be registered as yoga practitioner. Right? So
Okay.
this
What are
course,
the
because our course is also registered under AICT, so it is from an approved body. See, yoga practitioners nowadays, you will see there are people mushrooming. They say that for 2 months we have practiced yoga, we become yogi, and then now we are practicing and we are telling people. How can just 2 months practice in yoga can make you a yogi or yogini? It is not possible, right? People really give their lifetime to yoga and then they start selling these things. So I always say that certification, more than certification, it is your own, authenticity that comes to it, because you are your own brand ambassador, right? People sign Shah Rukh Khan, Amir Khan, all these people, different heroes to become brand ambassador to sell their products. But this product is something where you are the authenticated thing. So your body should start talking about it. So first impression we create is through our bodies, right? When we meet somebody physically, we create that impression that how happy you are looking. So your aura, your body should look so beautiful, not in the sense that you're looking beautiful, but it should look so healthy that you have a smile, constant smile, your eyes are sparkling, your body is looking fit, you are sounding or looking at people with such a manner that people are getting impressed with how you carry yourself. So it really creates a large, very, very good impression. Right? So that energy has to flow in you, because yoga practitioners, you will see people who practice yoga for long term period. It's not just they are thin or something. It's just that there is some different kind of aura, some very positive vibes that you get from these people. So bring those positive vibes in you. You will start noticing it yourself. The people who know you, they will tell you, okay, now you're looking so good and so different than what you are. Even though your physicality has not changed, you have similar eyes, same face, everything is same, but your aura has become so much better. So you become your own brand ambassador. People will start getting attracted to you for life coaching sessions. Trust me. Then next point says that yoga life coaching boosts business skills and abilities. So even for people who wants to run their business slowly, you can get involved with them. Because this entire package has that solution where you can actually become a good consultant also for using these tools and techniques. But again, the same thing is that you need to practice it yourself and then you start selling it. Right? And obviously, we give lifelong counseling and support from ISI, so we are always there. Any point in time you need any help in how you want to become a better life coach, where do you find your market, all those things, then we are there to help you out. Like that is the reason all these WhatsApp groups also that we run, sir has created, we don't stop them. They keep going on. So people who wants to come back asking for help, asking for support in their career, asking for anything, they can always, they know where to come back and do that. Right? Any questions in this? Please do let me know. This one we have not done.
Ma'am, I cannot register on Ayush Bharat, na?
No, that is only for yoga. That's not for emotional care. If you have not taken any certification in yoga, you cannot. That Ayush Bharat thing is only for yoga. It is not even for meditation. But you can always acquire this certification in itself is life coaching certification. So you do not require any other thing for that. You can become a practitioner directly after this. So no questions today on this. So okay, let's talk about then this slide. So how the coaching cycle works basically. What are the things that coaching can help you? Whether whichever technique you are using, whether yoga or any other technique that you have mastered in, how it is going to help you. So number one is it basically starts by creating awareness. You are helping somebody or you are helping your clients in understanding and getting to know themselves better through various questions that you are going to ask, through the diagnosis that you are going to do, and the techniques that you are going to use in this entire cycle. Then second is that it builds confidence. That means they find their motivation of running their life in a smooth manner. Because as I just said, that a lot of people in this world are facing problem because they do not have that positivity in them. They lack that, or they have lost their confidence because people have been telling them that they're not good, they are not good enough, they have competition. So many things keep happening in their entire day, in their entire lifetime, that they have stopped believing in themselves. So through coaching, it's very important that you build their confidence back. You give them that motivation that every morning they feel energetic, every morning they feel good that I am getting up and I am actually ready to move out in the market and doing something for myself. Right? Third is then taking responsibility. Very importantly. So the third important point that you as a coach can inculcate in somebody's life is that giving them an option that you are the controller of your life. You have that possibility of choosing your life to change. See, there is always, what do you call it, a difference between sitting across somewhere and keep crying about the problem, right? You have a problem, you are sitting and you're just crying about your problem, and you keep crying. You are going from one coach to another, you are going from one doctor to another, but you are just crying, crying, crying about this particular problem. And then the other possibility is that you are taking responsibility of yourself and you know that you have the solution. You can find out the solution, maybe through external resource and maybe through somebody's help. And that external resource can be a life coach. Right? So this is where you have to showcase your importance in people's life, is that once they have come to you, you are that person who are going to talk to them about choosing to change. Very importantly, because until and unless somebody who has come to you is not making that choice that they want to change, you as a coach can also not do that anything. Right? So that responsibility you have to instill in them through various means. You have to keep talking about it, share case studies, talk about all those things, and then only people will start making that change in them. Then next is planning action. Right? Planning action is right goal setting one. Then other things that we are going to talk about, the coaching techniques and coaching styles. So you have to plan your day, you have to plan your session in a manner that it is looking very, very planned. Right? For people also, everything has to move as per the steps in action. Right? First step is to do this, second step is to do this, the third step is to do this. So these steps has to be followed in a manner that people are getting to know about the changes that is happening, the progress that they are making, the benefits that they are getting from your session. So it's very important to note down all these things and then start moving into that direction. Right? Then last is making the change, which is taking action. Now, once you have done the planning really well, now you can actually start building your sessions in a manner that people are actually going through this and making change. That taking action is very important. So your coaching cycles should have these 5 points. You need to work around these 5 points on your coaching sessions. You can start practicing it from first day itself, right? Maybe from next week onwards, after the presentations that you have done, we will practice these 5 points into daily things. At least one session every person will go through. Right? Any questions so far? All understood or nothing understood?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm understood, but only practically when we do it, we face questions.
Yeah, I know. Right. It looks very, very boring when you just study it. Sorry. Yes, Rati, you were saying something? Sorry, I missed out.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, do you have any materials, book material? Please send that one.
See, there are as such no live coaching, yoga live coaching books available in the market. There are a lot of material available for management life coaching. So how you we actually deal with. See, because all these coaching styles and coaching techniques are management tools that we use in corporates and leadership. That I can share with you. Right? We will share it with you. There are notes. So when we talk about leadership styles, I'm going to share with you what are the kind of coaching styles, the complete book material from the books. Right? I'll tell you the books that you can read online free of cost, and then the books that you can buy.
Okay.
So side by side, I'm going to tell you. But for these right now, we do not have any such material available, readily available, because there is nothing called. People have not written any books on yoga life coaching right now. So you have that benefit that if you want to write that book, please write. People will be people will be able to take help from this. I'll try to find out in case something is there. But see, all these things are basically talking about where you are incorporating both yoga as a practitioner of yoga and life coaching, which is basically management tool. So how you can make changes in somebody's life using techniques which are going out for so long, but using management techniques. Because what happens is involving with people always have this different kind of a problem. Right? When you are involved with people, that means you are getting involved with a complex human mind. How the other person is taking you, people will come and tell you that I am falling in love with you, that I am so attached to you, that you are the whole soul in charge of my life. Different people will come to you with different kind of things. Right? So it's not that you are getting attached, there are chances that your clients will also get attached to you. So that is the reason why I always say that clearly write down in your agreement that this is what the 5-6 points that we need to do. I'll share some agreements with you at the later stages before we end these sessions after 2 months, so that you know what kind of clauses you can put, which can safeguard you as a coach.
Ma'am, I have one doubt. Actually,
Yes.
Some people got injured, in some leg, some hand and all. So they got operated, right? How can we give remedy to this? How can we give mentally something we have to give? No.
Yeah, so there are different relaxation techniques that you can introduce if they are not able to perform physical asanas. Right? One is
Yes, they got injury, right?
Sorry.
Then how could they got injury, right? Some
Right.
pain in leg. Sometimes they got operated in hands, legs and all. Then that can.
So relaxation techniques and meditation techniques can help. Right? Start with chanting, start with some mantras if they can follow that. Or otherwise, breathing techniques can be turned into meditation.
Okay.
How you can turn pranayama into a meditation? Actually, pranayama meaning is that it is a meditation technique. How your body's breath is controlled in a manner that it is bringing relaxation to you. Right? So pranayama can be used very beautifully. Western countries use that. I think I'll have something on my phone. I'll share it with you on WhatsApp. We created it for a client.
Okay.
Let me just. Yeah. So I have this technique. I'll share it with you. We call it pranayama for healing for yoga people. But otherwise, for Western countries, how we sell it as breathing techniques.
How can we give healing?
Sorry?
How can we give healing, ma'am? Healing.
See, for healing, again, you need to get certification in healing. So like, for pranic healing, there is a center which is being run. So you need to acquire that certification for pranic healing. These are the techniques. Similarly, for Reiki, you need to take that technique. You need to learn it from some person. Then only you can practice it. So it is like yoga only, but yeah, it is alternative therapies. And because I have been using it for quite some time now, so I can tell you that Reiki really works wonderful on people. Wonderful.
Reiki.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I learned one time Reiki.
Okay, you learned Reiki? You're not practicing it?
Yeah, not now. Before 2-3 months back, I finished that course. I stopped.
See, for Reiki also, when you learn, so the first step talks about it basically is learned in 4 steps. So the first step tells that you need to practice it on yourself.
2 steps.
No, there are 4 steps in this. So first step says that you learn and you practice it on yourself so that you are healing first. It's always good. So like in yoga and meditation also we say that first practice it. See, you can only call yourself yogini or yogi once you have learned that art. Theoretically knowing something and practicing it has two different things, right? So practice it so wonderfully on you that you start, as I say, when you start following something, it shows on your face somewhere, right? It's not just that you start looking good, it also your positivity starts floating to other people. That calmness, that control on your emotions, that happiness, it floats from you to other person, and all these techniques are all about that. So Reiki first session is, the first certification of Reiki says practice it yourself. Second step says that some of the things you can start using on other people now. Third step says that you become a master of it. And the fourth step says that you are the grandmaster. That means now you start training other people in Reiki. Right? So these are the 4 steps in Reiki. And it goes slowly. So my grandmaster who taught me Reiki, from first certification to second certification, he took 6 months time. He said, first 6 months you are performing yourself, then come back. If I see that you have made changes in you, then only I'll give you certification. So he's very authentic. So he did not give me second certification in 6 months. He made me wait for 1.5 years. So only after 1.5 years, when he knew that I am practicing Reiki morning, evening, then he gave the second certification, then the second training. Then after second training also, he made me wait for 3 years. That you are now practice it free of cost on people. Don't charge anything, and then do that.
Don't charge also. Yeah, free only. It's free cost only.
No. Reiki should not be free. See, anything that you are practicing on people should not be free. Why? Because again, in Upanishad, it is said that anything that you do for free is actually taking you through different kind of a karma.
Annadana only we paid 1,000 rupees. Annadana we
Anything, even if you're charging 1 rupee, depending upon whether the person can pay you 1 rupee or 2 rupees, charge that much. Don't give anything for free, because if you are building your karma, that means in next life also you will have to deal with the same person and you have to give him back some way or take something back. So the life cycles actually move around this thing. If you see why suddenly some problems come to you, suddenly a person will come in your life and he or she will give you a lot of pain unnecessarily without having any connections in this world, right? Why this person has come back to your life this time is because something was left in some other lifetime. That's why this person has come back, and he or she has tried to give it back to you, or you have done that to somebody. So always try and close everything when you have realized this entire thing. So close everything in this janam only. In this lifetime only. Don't take anything back in the next. That's when the moksha happens. So the meaning of moksha is basically you bring clarity to yourself. So once you have the clarity how you live your life, you end everything in this lifetime so that nothing is carried forward into the next. How you can do it with emotions also? When you get emotionally involved with somebody. Suppose, just for an example, suppose somebody is going through divorce. Right? Now divorce is happening on papers. People are signing the papers and saying that, okay, fine, the relationship is over. But does the relationship gets over only on the papers? It doesn't. Right? So you need to move on emotionally also. You need to disconnect from that people emotionally also. How are you going to disconnect emotionally from that person? By forgiveness. The more forgiveness you offer to that person who has hurt you so much. See, divorce happens in such cases where you are emotionally damaged completely. And that is the reason why two people choose to move away from each other. So that's not just on paper. So that's not just for the money. It's for the emotional disconnect. So create that emotional disconnect. We call it cutting the cords. So cutting the cords is very important from every person who has hurt you. So it starts from the basic practice, which I told you. Every night before you sleep, just say that you are forgiving everyone who has hurt you, and you are forgiving, you are asking and seeking forgiveness from anyone who you have indelibility. Right? So, for example, if we are doing this session with you, right? I may have said certain things which might have caused or triggered some emotions in you. So before sleeping, I always tell whatever I have said was unintentional. It was not to hurt somebody. So that's the unforgiveness I'm seeking indirectly from you, maybe not in this session or before I sleep. So the universe basically works in this manner that you are forgiving everyone. Why carry something for a night sleep? You know, the night sleep is basically very sweet, lovely thing that can happen to us. We die every night and we get up every morning. We live up. So when you die for those 6, 7, 8 hours, whatever time period you are sleeping, sleep in peace. And that sleep in peace, the more you sleep in peace, the more beautiful you will become in your life. Beautiful in the sense your aura will become much more beautiful, much more healthy. So even if you have fought with somebody at home, just try and come to a compromise before sleeping. It is always said.
One question, as you said, we ask or we seek forgiveness directly or indirectly. Still, the person is connected with us, and still the forgiveness is not.
I will give you a tool. Yeah, we will do forgiveness meditation. Yeah.
And still the triggering, still the hurting happens. So how to really?
Yeah, we will do that. We will do that forgiveness. If you have time, we have time, right? 20 minutes. You want to do it today? Yeah, we can do it today. So I had no plans on doing it, but let's do it. So forgiveness meditation is very, very beautiful, right? It brings immediate effect on you, but you have to do it over a period of time. You cannot just do it once and you say it's over. So let's sit down. If you are ready for this meditation, you need to be fully concentrated. I generally don't do it so initial in the things, but we can do it.
We have to sit
Ma'am,
in floor
one
or
question.
Yes, please.
sit in floor or where we have to sit, ma'am?
Sit on the floor or sofa, anywhere. Yeah. No problem. But sit in a situation, sit in a place where it is very calm. Should not be distraction because you are not practicing meditation on a daily basis right now. So preferably sit in a place which is quiet in itself. Hanji Santosh ji, you were saying something?
Ma'am, one question.
Yes.
Ma'am,
please.
those who do social service or something like that, they do for free only everything. So means you told na ke you should not do anything for free. At least you can take 1 rupees or something like that. Then
see, the whole karma theory works that people who can pay you, you should charge from them. So like I perform Reiki on street dogs, right? Wherever I see that there is a dog which is injured, we cannot take him or to the doctor, then I perform the Reiki on them, and that's free of cost, right? So wherever you can charge. Wherever you cannot charge, it's all right to do that for the social service.
okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
So I have patients who pay me 1.5 lakhs for Reiki session also. Right? So I know they have a paying capacity. We know that they can pay really well, so why not charge from them, right? And then that money can be utilized for the other purposes where people cannot pay you. So that karma theory has to work like that. But always prefer for people, always prefer even if you're taking 1 rupee. 1 rupee is very, very affordable by anyone. So charge 1 rupee so that you're breaking your karma, that you're not carrying it forward in anywhere. You're just closing it there and then. He or she paid to you, you gave them your service, and that's over.
Yes.
Always do that. All the dealings, anything for free. Even the government who is giving it for free is not doing it for free. They are doing so many other things to us. Right? So it's always good to end everything with that dealings. Or you do something for the person. If they are not able to pay you, ask them to give you something from there. Right? Either services or something in return, something. Something has to come in return. It's only for the animals that you should do free of cost because they are in need. Right? So let's perform forgiveness meditation. We call it whiteboarding. Right? Whiteboarding is one of the toughest techniques of meditation. It comes with practice. It may not give you the effect that you want to achieve today. In very less percentages on the first itself, it gives you. There are chances that you feel emotions today. You may start to, or you want to cry it out. Please cry out. There is no problem. So the whole purpose of doing this exercise, this meditation or relaxation technique is that you are taking all the trauma out, which is in you right now, attached to somebody else. And because you're forgiving that person, that trauma is going to affect your brain. So emotions will come out. You feel like crying. Please cry your heart out. Don't feel that you do not want to. Correct? So that's just a question. Because last time when we did in yoga life coaching, I remember the session went out for 45 minutes. We all were crying so much and the emotions were overwhelming. Right? So just don't feel shy away from that. All right. Sit in the position which is comfortable. Both your hands should be in this position, the right hand above and in your lap. This hand. Yeah. Right hand over your left hand in your lap. There would be a visualization involved. So you have to visualize creating that whiteboard because we are not having that whiteboard. So first we will perform deep breathing till the time your body is completely relaxed. So inhale and exhale. Once again, inhale and exhale. One more time. Inhale and exhale. If you are feeling relaxed already, we can start. Close your eyes now. If you're relaxed completely, now visualize sitting yourself in an area which is very, very calm. It can be a forest, it can be a seashore, anything where you feel very beautiful sitting across. Visualize that. But let me help you visualize. You're sitting across a seashore. Very calming, beautiful sea. And there is a beautiful sunrise happening. You can now visualize, you can see the sun coming out. See the colors. Orange, yellow, and the waves are also passing across. You're sitting very relaxed manner, just enjoying the scenery, and you're hearing the voice of the wave. There is no other sound than the waves. Only the sea making noise. Very calming effect. Now imagine a whiteboard. The whiteboard that we generally use in our homes, in classrooms. You have this clean slate, complete, pure whiteboard in front of you. You have a blue marker, the blue pen from which you write. Take that marker. Write down the name of the person who has hurt you. A lot of negative emotions attached with that person. Maybe you are living with that person every day, every night, but he or she is causing you so much of pain. You're not able to forgive this person. Just write the name of that person. Now, as you write notes, just write down how much this person has hurt you. All the points related with that person. Whatever things they have said to you that you remember. What are the hurtful comments they have made against you? What are the things they do to you? Just write everything down right away. All the points. Every negative remark. They have pained you. They have caused hurtful things to you. They have treated you badly. And let your emotions flow with everything. From very start till the end. With every comment that you are writing, let the emotions flow. Let it come to you naturally. All the emotional problems, all that pain that you feel in you should come out on that whiteboard today. Even if it is your parents, your spouse, your children, any external person, any person in your office, whosoever that person is. Anything in that connection. The person has been out of your life now, but that attachment still lives. Write down everything about that. Take your time. Write it all down. Take some more time. Think about anything else and write that down as well. Once you're done, now as you remove all these things from the duster, pick up that duster. Any piece of cloth you have, neat duster that you want to pick up, just pick up that duster, and whatever you have written, just clear that board again. And while you're clearing that board, just say in your mind that I am seeking forgiveness. I am giving forgiveness. I forgive this person for all these things that he or she has caused. How your hands are moving while clearing this whiteboard, you should be chanting this thing. I forgive this person for all this emotional trauma and physical abuse. Everything. I disconnect myself. I forgive. I disconnect myself. I forgive. Now the board should look like as it was, completely clean, absolutely clean, complete whiteboard again. Now write down the name of the person again, same person. Now write down at least 3 memories which are beautiful memories with this person. Minimum 3. If you have more, then write more. Write down 3 beautiful memories that you have created with this person, where you were happy, where things were good. Write down all these 3 memories. And while you're writing this, feel good about it. Just write down these 3 memories. And now decorate these 3 memories. You can create hearts, you can create balloons like we used to do in our childhood. Just try and decorate this whiteboard now with these 3 memories. You can create anything that you want. Create sweets, create chocolates, anything, any kind of drawing that you want. Lots of blessings. Feel happy about these memories. Feel happiness right now, wherever you're sitting. Enjoying that seashore, enjoying this beautiful sunrise, and you're living these memories with this person. Now leave that board like this. With every memory, read out this memory in your mind and say that I want to live these memories only. I want to remember this person only with these memories. Rest all I forgive. Rest all I move on from. Rest everything I disconnect. Now come back, sit and enjoy the sunrise. Just the sound of waves, you sitting across. You have this peace, you have this calmness, and you're already feeling light. Because that burden that you were carrying for so long has gone now. The burden of unforgiveness which you were carrying, all the extra emotions, that baggage of emotions that you were carrying, it's all gone. A shift has happened on your shoulders where that baggage has gone. You are relaxed. You are at peace. You're very calm. Very slowly, with deep breaths, come back to your normal self, where we are. Don't be in a hurry in opening your eyes whenever you are ready. Come back to where you are. Come back home. Whenever you are ready, you can open your eyes slowly. With deep breaths. Whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes. You've done a very good exercise today. And whenever you are ready to speak, do share your experience with us. So Naveda has raised emotions, yeah?
Thank you.
You were able to forgive the person?
Yes.
Do this at least for 3 more times. At least. Same person, same activity, same things that you have written down. Third time onwards, you will feel you are so light. This person has completely gone from your life. Completely. No burdens of unforgiveness. You were carrying that burden for so long, right? Right, Rati? Did you face the emotions?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Good. So now forgive this person completely, whosoever this person is. See, if you're living with this person right now and he or she has caused you pain, it is even more better. Your relationship with this person will improve automatically because you're forgiving, right? We have not forgiven people, I don't know from how long, since we have got maturity, since our brain has started storing things from these people. So even if a smallest thing somebody has told you in school time, maybe one of your teachers has told you that you're not good enough, you're not really good, you're idiot. So that is also stored in our brain. It's so important to forgive people and move on from there. Otherwise, so many unnecessary burden we are carrying. And that what happens is you're not at peace ever because these problems are creating. Somebody in your mind is only telling you are an idiot because somebody told you in your childhood that you are an idiot. But are we an idiot? We are not. Right? Yes, Arjunji, how is the feeling? Could you
It
do
was
it?
nice, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I did it, ma'am.
Okay. You could visualize things properly?
Initially, it was something I can't visualize, but in later stage, I started to visualize, ma'am.
Okay. Okay.
The
Yes,
writing in the board.
visualization takes time, right?
And closing, what is closing? I at that time was a little bit audio was issue. You said no, ma'am. Lastly, we have to what to say? Move the baggage from us, and after breathing, we have to close it and open the eyes, or what you have to do?
Hmm. After opening eyes, nothing. See, once you have written down good memories, yeah. Once you've written good memories, right? Memories are there now. So you are living with this person with good memories. That's the whole idea of bipolar.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Right? If you want
And
to
2-3 times.
remove, yeah, if you want to remove that person from your life completely, do not want to even remember good memories, or you do not have good memories, then just remove once you are forgive that person and then come out slowly out of the meditation.
Okay.
Yeah? So totally up to you how you want to
And
carry.
And any time for performing this, or morning,
You can
evening,
perform anytime. Do it 3-4 times in a day also, it's good. But just try and do 3 times at least minimum for that person, and more than 3. Yeah, more than 3 times till the time you are not free from those memories.
Okay.
Bad memories, right? The more you visualize, see, the visualization exercise is very powerful because you are reliving those memories, right? Where the hurt has happened, where the person has told you something. So if somebody has told you you are idiot, so you are living that again, you are idiot. And then you are removing that. That means you are telling that person, I don't believe that I am an idiot. So that pain you are removing there. So it takes time because when you relive that pain again, obviously it causes a lot of emotions because that emotions is stored in you. So let the emotions flow, cry your heart out, let it go completely, and then remove those things. That's the whole idea of whiteboarding. Whiteboarding is very powerful techniques used by a lot of senior practitioners in life coaching. Right? You can use it, but use it only when you become practitioner. Right? Practice it and then tell other people to use it.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
did you teach any meditation method yesterday? Because network issue, so I didn't.
No, yesterday we didn't do any meditation because Om chanting you already done, so I did not do. We did not do Om chanting.
Video, right, ma'am?
Sorry.
You recorded video you sent, no? That one is there, no? That one.
That link is Sir has already shared it directly on YouTube now. So you can listen to that link anytime. I'll share the PPTs in the group.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Akriti, what was your experience? Akriti and Santoshji, what is your experience?
Ma'am, it was little nice, but I think I have to practice more.
Okay. Yeah, it takes time. Because if you have not done it
I
ever
am
before,
unable to
visualize. Right, I understand that. Visualization comes
Yes,
to
ma'am.
very
And
few
also,
people.
while that removing the ink with duster, I was thinking, no, it should be there.
Sorry, it's with?
I think I have to practice.
It's okay. Practice it again. You want to do it over and over again. Keep doing till the time you reach that stage. It takes time for some people to visualize. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Santosh, to you, how was your experience? Could you do it or you could not? She's not here. Okay. Right, all right. So already too much emotions, too much heaviness. So let's not talk anything else. Just enjoy this meditation. Just try and do it once more today at any point in time in the evening or something. Just accept it as it is. Right? Because the more forgiveness you will ask and you will give to people, the more happy you will be able to live your life. We have done, and do it with your parents at least once, twice. See, because parents are somebody in our lives who we live with, right? Sometimes we agree with them, sometimes we disagree with them, but unnecessarily we causes the burden of whatever wrong they have said to us. So it's very important to forgive your parents. If they are alive, then also, if they're not alive, then also. So do it with your parents at least once or twice also. Just an advice. Right? All right. So then see you in next class with your presentations ready. So next class, Saturday, you are going to run with your presentations. We will talk about
And which presentation?
the exercises given in the group. Right? You have to think of a disease, any disease. It can be mental or physical. Then research on this disease, that how from yoga point of view, which asanas, all these things, you can heal that person. What are the solutions that you are going to give the person? So first is the research on the disease, then the solutions that you can provide, and that's the presentation you're going to make.
Coming Saturday, no more?
Coming Saturday, yes. 4 or 5 slides. I have written down which slide should talk about what.
Okay. Sure.
Yes, Niveda.
On Saturday or Sunday, ma'am, because Saturday will be like traveling. Yesterday you saw.
So it's okay. We can do Sunday presentation. Saturday we will do normal class. No problem.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Hold
Have
on.
a good-
Thank you, ma'am.
Have a
Thank you.
great week ahead. Yeah. Namaskar.